Good evening, Dr. Koji and fellow classmates. We are Group 9 members. Today, we would like to take this opportunity to talk to you about our group project, the benefits of early music training on sense of rhythm. First, I would like to give you some background information about our project. Rhythm is one of the basic elements of music, and the sense of rhythm is the premise and foundation of learning music. Only with a certain sense of rhythm can we understand and perceive the thoughts and emotion and improve the ability of music appreciation. Moreover, the sense of musical rhythm is also an extremely advanced human perception ability, which can also be cultivated with the help of acquired. Therefore, the focus of early music teaching will be to effectively cultivate students' aesthetic ability and sense of musical rhythm. Especially in the early stage of learners, effective music training can promote the generation and development of their sense of music rhythm, thereby improving learners' understanding and expressiveness of music. In order to achieve the effectiveness of rhythm training and to cultivate students' sense of correct rhythm, teachers must continue to innovate methods and change traditional concepts in the process of music teaching. However, judging from the actual situation of music teaching in primary and secondary schools, it has many problems that have a very negative impact on the quality of music education, which is also the reason for this research. First of all, in the teaching process, most teachers are not very concerned about the importance of early music education. They feel that music education is not a necessary course for young students. Secondly, many music teachers often do not realize the true meaning of rhythm training in the teaching process. Although students spend a lot of time in the process of rhythm teaching, the activity lacks real educational significance. Last, some teachers pay too much attention to form innovation in the process of conducting music teaching activities. They often spend a lot of time creating teaching forms, while neglecting specific learning content. Although they also create a very humorous teaching atmosphere, but the actual teaching role has not really played out. So, the purpose of this study is to explore the benefits of early music education to learners' sense of rhythm. It can guide music educators to pay attention to early music education and organically integrate daily life, learning, and classroom teaching, which achieves the purpose of improving students' enthusiasm and initiative in learning music and promoting their learning and development. That's the background information and objective of our project. I will stop here and pass to the next presenter, my groupmate Yixuan.
Hi, this is Ishan. Let me summarize the key literature of our topic from three aspects. First, we read some articles about the benefits of early music training, and we found that there is little research focused on a specific field. Second, we look for some articles about the rhythm, and we found that rhythm play a crucial role in children's development as it affects various abilities. Third, we look at some studies on the effect of early music training on rhythm. And we found that there may be a sensitive period in music training on rhythm. Besides, through some comparing of early trained and little trained musicians on a rhythm task, the results showed early trained musicians have better performance. The first part is the benefits of early music training. According to Bill Hart, early musical practice effectively promotes cognitive development and abstract thought. Graham noted that infant and toddler music experiences stimulates children's brain development on language. Besides, other research noted that the children who received the early music training showed stronger spatial ability, greater IQ performance. Let's move on. The second part will show the key literature about rhythm affects various abilities. In short, the rhythm ability was closely associated with phonological awareness, learning, and executive capability, the qualities of attention in time, and the time organizational in cognizing music and language. The last part is the effect of early music training on rhythm. Previous studies noted that infants are more sensitive to musical rhythm, and they recognize different rhythmic patterns easily. In addition, in an experiment conducted by Watanabe, it was argued that early trained musicians grasp a novelty rhythmic pattern in a shorter time than later trained musicians with same levels of experience. This is supported by Bailey, who reported that early trained musicians were better at reproducing the temporal structure of the rhythms than later trained musicians. This is all literature I want to talk about.
Next, I'll present the interview part on methodology and data analysis. I will explain mainly through who, when, where, what, why, and how. This interview is to find out the benefits of early music training on sense of rhythm. And we did the individual interviews with 6 senior music teachers from 2 kindergartens and 2 primary schools. The reason we chose these senior music teachers is because the early music training contains the age group from 0 to 8, and the interviewees involve the targeted teaching age, which are familiar with the music education from age 0 to 12. It took us 2 weeks to do the interview, face-to-face in schools or the online meeting via Zoom. And then how to do the interview. First, we prepare the interview questions and the consent letter. Here's the interview questions. And here's the materials we need. The consent letter, interview question sheet, recording equipment, transcribing paper. And then we move to the interview part. We do the consent letter verbally, and the interview question sheet will be sent to the interviewees in advance to prepare. Then we confirm the time and location, and we move to the formal interview. After the interview, we did some data transcribing, and then we move to the data analysis. First, let's know more backgrounds about the music teaching through different age groups. The first video is from my music groups, infant and toddler class. Next video is about the kindergarten class, and it's from Miss Lin. She's the head of music department in the international kindergarten.
Daily content. I see. For early years, I don't think they will understand the concept of quarter notes, or we say quavers or crotchets. I think for me, for the little one, in rhythm, I think to teach them how to be rhythmic is more important. So to get them to copy me probably is the easiest way, I think, to approach. Clapping, body percussion with some simple percussion instrument is the way I always used to induce them to play with me. I think play is very important in English curriculum. When you're asking about the content, so in the UK, we base on a curriculum called EYFS, so early years foundation stage. They all have very specific target. So, for example, they're not really asking if they understand the concept of the rhythm, but they're asking if the children can experience the difference. So if we say a triplet, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so we will sing that song with them and get them moving, rather than go 1, 2, 1, 2, probably marching. So they learn through body instead of learning, oh, this is quaver, or this is a crotchet.
And here's the primary class from YouTube.
Daily content. For
So through the data analysis, we can find that many teachers mentioned a word, sensitive. They think that the student with early music training, they have stronger auditory sense on rhythm. And this can be located on the concept of music sensitive period.
All right, my answer to that question is yes. I totally agree that early music learning benefits children a lot in terms of rhythm acquisition. Because at that stage, the children's learning capability is a lot faster than adults. And they can absorb things naturally. Like everything they've learned at that stage just become a part of them.
And also some teachers mentioned that the children, they got early music training, especially when they learn piano, they have more patience to the learning challenge. And if they learn some singing, they will be more optimistic on the character and willing to express music. So through the interview, we found that the benefit of early music training on sense of rhythm might be more sensitive, longer concentration, and more interest on music.
Hello, I'm Hefei Yan, and then I'm going to present the part of questionnaire, data analysis, and conclusion. In addition to the interview just given by Shaolin, our method includes a questionnaire for students. There are 108 students participating in the questionnaire, including 66 students in grade 1, 42 students in grade 4, and 54 students who have received early music education. Why do we only choose these two grades? Since grade 1 is about 6 or 7 years old, which is the closest age to early education. They just finished early education and just entered the first semester of primary school. which has certain reference function of this survey. So we conduct a sample survey on grade 1 students and choose the 4th grade because of this age students just finished the stage 2 of lower primary to higher primary. It's precisely through the music key representation of the sensitive period, except by the profound influence of the early education, so have learned 3 years of primary school music. The music has some understanding and certain basic, so comprehensive grade 1 and grade 4, in whether have received early music education on the contrast of the 2 grade students are able to reflect the most. First of all, we select some text from ABRSM oral text grade 1 and BAT and send them in a news text paper to grade 1 and grade 4. In order to ensure the fairness and reliability of the data, we have the same question gave the student of different 2 grades by the grade 1 and grade 4 student to answer. Here is the part A sample. And here's the sample of part B. When doing the questionnaire, due to the psychological characteristic of grade 1, we will whether to have received early music education into whether there is a learn a musical instrument. This, for grade 1 student can understand the question to answer. Here is the video. We connect the text paper and correct them. The following is a simple analysis of the data. As can be seen from the chart of the first grade, the score of the test, students learn an instrument and get a higher grade on far flat out have not learned. The number of the got 12 goals, students learn 8 people, only less than half of it. Not studying and adult not learn to compare the number of average. But the highest also only 5 people got 10 goals. The other is less than 5 people. Now let's look at the 4th grade analyze. Grade 4 write the number of people in 13 to 16 and the vast majority. But compared to grade 1, learn an instrument are more obvious advantage. The number of the people in write 14 more than the first grade. The second is write 15, following is by 16. And compare with the same grade 4, note the number of students learn an instrument without a lot of ups and downs. Make 9, 14, 13, 14, the goals of the same 9 people. And the number of more wrong than right more. Only got 9 goals 3 times the next 22. And here is our conclusion. Can be seen from our data on the questionnaire survey, the students who had early music education, the accuracy and sense of rhythm will be higher than students without received early education. Because the first grade and early education time are close, we can see the gap between the first grade is the most obvious. In the 4th grade, the same has received 3 years of primary school music education on the basis of despite the obvious advantage has not seen that, but also can see the score received early education is better than not learn. Therefore, it can be proved the early music education in music sensitive periods is beneficial to later rhythm learning and lays a foundation for one's music learning. Due to the limitation of time, number, and the objective reasons, we won't be able to collect more data for reference. Because I have taught at school, learn a musical instrument and receive early music education of the students is not so much. So can take some samples as experimental objects. If we can collect more information, I believe that our survey data will be more accurate. Here's our presentation. Thank you for listening.